look at a gym and you piss your pants and faint.
Because women are inherently seen as taking up more space than men. You look at a gym and you piss your pants and faint. Because women are inherently seen as taking up more space than men.
Twitch chat. It is Saturday. But for this month, it's not the Saturday of visual novels. This time to go back. Kaizo and cocktails. For anyone new to this, because it's been at least a year, I think, maybe 2 years. Hi, Red Seraph. Since I did this, we are going to be playing Kaizo Mario ROM hack, which is a genre of Super Mario World mod or other Mario games too, but the origins are in Super Mario World, which are made to be really, really hard. I'm playing a relatively easy one today in comparison to the field. So this is Quickie World 2. I believe when we previously did this, I played through most of Quickie World. To warm up and remember how to Kaizo, I did Quickie World 2, or finished playing original Quickie World, although I did have to use a few save states. So, basic rules of the stream are, for every 20 deaths, and I might manipulate that number as we need to get a good pace, we will go and spin the wheel. You can see the wheel right now down in the bottom left of the screen. We'll go and spin the wheel and find out what we're adding to our drink. Right now we're starting with an empty glass. I'm just going to use a glass mason jar, because that's a good clear glass to make a drink in, and I don't have any fancy drinking glasses on me right now. So every 20 deaths, we'll spin the wheel. There are a few things on the wheel that are not drink ingredients. We'll deal with those when we get to them. I've put those so that those are half as likely as actual ingredients, so we'll probably only get a couple of those tonight, but I will be very excited. All my voice audio is in your left ear, Carrick. Let me see if I messed something up. How about now? I just set it so it should be on mono now. That any better? Alright, I don't know why it was only coming through the left. It was set to be 50-50, but it works now. Alright, so I'm adding a couple new mechanics. Every time we beat a level, we're going to bank a respin. I can spend a respin to spin the wheel again if I really don't like what I land on. I think respins will save us from maybe the worst possible fates. I'll also say that if I want to make a save state in the middle of a level, thing I can do since I'm playing on an emulator, I can do that. I'll just have to then spin the wheel 5 times, which will almost certainly ruin the rest of my evening if I'm spinning it 5 extra times. So I'm gonna do my best to not do that, but you know, if I end up breaking at some point. Alright, I think we've listened to Scatman enough. So I think we should just get started. Yeah, let's do this. Should have my... Well, my deaths are wrong right now. Let me... That not working now? Of course that's not working now. I had to restart my computer. One sec, I need to get my death counter working. I'm gonna send us to BRB. Knew I was forgetting something. Yeah, I know you can. Yes, I know y'all can still hear me. Right. Run this little Python script. Fine. Alright. Now... There we go. Now we're back at a clean 0 deaths. Got to run that little script. Alright. We'll track what is in my glass on the left side of the screen. Yeah, let's get to it. Alright, so this is Quickie World 2 by Valdio. I really liked Quickie World 1. It was hard, but it wasn't impossible for someone who's pretty new to Kaizo Mario ROM hacks and not, like, incredible at them. You know, like, I can sometimes do a shell jump, but only sometimes, so I'm not going to be playing any of the hard ones anytime soon. After Mario mysteriously passed away, Luigi ventures into Quickie World in search of Yoshi, the last one to see him alive. Murder mystery platformer. Favorite genre of platformer. And it feels like we never even left this, even though it's been so long. Alright, happy birthday. Alright, and that's a death. I just jumped rather than thinking about anything. Yoshi the demon or the drunk? That is a good question, Sarah. Alright, let's see. We will need to bounce off of that first bomb to get to the one standing past it. I will actually focus on what I'm doing. I did scout this game out a little bit just to make sure it wasn't too hard, and was able to beat the first couple levels. So these first couple levels are going to be replays for me, so I shouldn't die too many times. I say, having died 3 times on the first jump. Alright, alright. Maybe I'm just really excited to spin the wheel. Maybe that's what it is. Alright. Getting used to the game feel again. There we go. High jumps and low jumps. See, that was much better. That's much more respectable. Alright, I'm a little bit shy pushing myself over that chomper there. Alright, those bombs were too far to the left there. While I get my sea legs again, I have a question for the chat, which is, what is your favorite summertime drink? What is your go-to drink to celebrate summer vacation? I know some people in some school systems are just hitting their summer vacation this weekend. This spring, I really got into root beer floats. That might have to be it for me. I realize it's like cheapest way to get a good, like, repeatable dessert. Alright, we have to use this bomb here to kill 3 different shells, or just die to the bomb. That's also an option. Because, like, you don't have to have very good root beer or very good ice cream to still have a good root beer float. Alright, throw you once. Throw you twice. That one's embarrassing. Got this, Luigi. I said we got this, Luigi. What are you doing to me? Orange sodas, Seraph. Yeah. Good orange soda does hit the spot in the summer. Those work really well with the ice in them. Also, cold brew coffee. Definitely cold brew coffee. Drinking cold coffee in the morning instead of warm, like, feels weird, but especially, like, if you're going for, like, an afternoon coffee treat, being able to actually get it, like, a good, like, cold iced coffee or latte or whatever does feel quite nice. Right. There's a checkpoint. Will I get a respin on the board before I even have to spin the wheel? I don't think so. Alright, I can bounce twice. Okay, I need to do a small bounce off of that first bomb I'm walking there. Callie says, coconutty is the epitome of summer. Maybe the best alcoholic drink I've ever had was a fresh pina colada made when I was on a trip to Spain back in college. And speaking of fresh pina coladas, that's 20 deaths. So as our chiptunes continue to serenade us, Let's go to the wheel. My face. More importantly, oh, is the wheel not showing? Oh. There's the wheel. Alright, here's our wheel. We've got our friend Toad here, acting as the wheelmaster. We've got a lot of good options, probably a little bit too small to... Oh, did I never unmute desktop audio? Oh. Now you can hear the Mario song. It wouldn't be Kaizo and Cocktails if it wasn't completely scuffed, you know? I was just saying before the stream started to Callie that if... I made this so that it's bad intentionally, so anything that does go wrong just adds to the experience, you know? If you make something that's made to go wrong, then it going wrong is fine. Anyway, let's see what the first thing going in my glass is. Ooh, alright, we are starting... Ooh, it's very close there. We're starting with some condensed milk. I was very concerned about putting dairy onto the wheel again, but I felt like condensed milk was less likely to go bad than like just plain milk. Starting with condensed milk is not a good omen though. I will be right back. I'm going to grab some from the fridge. Alright, now, I don't know if anyone has seen anything more appetizing. That. Now that's a good, promising start to a drink. I can't even take a sip of this yet. I was kind of hoping to have something to sip on during the first half of the stream before it breaks. I don't know if we're going to get there. There's a chance, though, we can hit tea or coffee on the wheel. If we hit either of those, we might be in business. Right. Update before I forget. Now we should go back to Kaizo. Keep playing some Mario. That is the rhythm of the day. Why is the green showing up? You're supposed to be keyed out, green. Oh, it's because of the... We have a winner. There we go. Now it shouldn't go back to not being keyed. Or go back to being keyed out. There we go. We're getting there, we're getting there. We're doing fine. Bounce once, bounce twice. Oh, get to that guy faster. Nope, a little bit slow there. That's alright, we're here to have a good time. We're here to play a really bad platformer that actually has good mechanics, unlike a certain game that Riley has been playing on Thursdays. Which I did try to play. I Want to Be the Guy. This did not feel great. The controls felt really, really finicky in a way that I think is intentional in that game's design. I don't know. I made it to the first boss and got pretty close to beating it, and then the game crashed and I lost like my progress up to that point. I was just like, I'm not doing this just for the bit of beating Riley at their own game. Oh man, the wiggling of the bomb-bombs beneath their parachutes really throws me. Yeah, in a different world, this would be Kaizo and Cocktails, I Wanna Be the Guy edition. But I thought about it, I thought about doing Super Meat Boy, but in the end, I feel like this is really where my heart is. I watched a lot of really good Kaizo and like ROM hack players, like in college. That was like one of my comfort like YouTube genres that I would watch, but never really tried them on my own. So it's nice to come back years later and actually see how much of this world I can learn for myself. Apparently, I can't learn what to do with the weighing of a bomb falling on a parachute. That's what I can't learn. Alright, see, that's just not fair, buddy. I have to be able to climb around your right side there. All good. Alright, I think 20 is going to be about right for the pace of this game. We end up dying really frequently. There we go! There we fucking go! That is one level down! Excuse me while I give myself a respin that I can spend on a future spin of the wheel. Would have been nice to have that before we started with condensed milk, but so it goes. Alright, I know that the first level of this was considerably easier than the second or third, but still, that's excellent progress. I feel good about this. Alright, next level is the Shen. Alright, we have death mushrooms coming from the left, spiky guy coming from the right. So I imagine I'm going to need to spin jump off of you. Yeah. Alright, let's take a moment to evaluate what's happening. Alright, I should be safe if I go to this next bone here. Don't... Yeah, that's just a Kaizo block. Thank you for showing me where the Kaizo blocks are. Alright, I just have to time this right. Easy timing there. Bad timing. Games are so funny. There's such a good sense of humor of... It's just always the same bit of you thought you were safe, but now you're not. And that's enough for me. Like, there's a guy, Tom Walker, who did a stream of beating GTA 4 where all the traffic moves at 10 times speed. And, the only joke of that long series was, and then a car comes by really fast and obliterates you while you're trying to do a thing. And it hit every single time. Alright. Don't think I should try to outrun that. I think I should try to jump over it. Back where the other mushroom's bouncing back and forth above me. But also, hey, that's 30 deaths. 30 deaths, it is, what, 20 minutes into the stream? Been every 5 to 10 minutes? That sounds ideal to me. Hello again, Toad. By the way, if anyone can tell me where I got this Toad picture from, I don't have anything to give you, but you'll win my respect. Well, I guess I'm glad that I'm doing this before I, by the way, how does this look? Alright, the green shows up. I'll have to mess around with the color key later, or when that green darkens. But right now, we are going to add a salt rim to our glass. Yes, you got it in one, Seraph. This is a Toad with realistic human legs and an adult diaper. From Please Retweet. An era of polygon content that's deeply influential on what I want to do when I make content. Anyone else really miss Gil and Gilbert? Like, I'm glad that they've gone on to better and brighter things, but still. Alright, so how do I do a salt rim? I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wet... I'll get you out of here, Toad. Yeah, so we're gonna wet the rim, and thankfully, because there's nothing that can, like, quickly spill out of this, I should be able to just, like, get some salt on it. So I'm gonna go and attempt to do that. While I do that, I'm gonna put Toad back up. Yeah, I don't know how I was gonna do that with potentially full cup either, so it's a good thing it didn't happen. Okay. Back. Out of here, Toad. I didn't do a very good job. But there's salt on the rim, so that counts. That 100% counts. I don't want to put any more salt on there anyway. I hope y'all are getting some really good ASMR from me going and fucking around in the kitchen while I'm off camera. I'm sorry I don't have everything set out behind me, but there is not a lot of space behind me here in the current setup. Alright. Back to Kaizo time. What I think. How do we feel about the combination of milk and salt? That's like the start of a good drink. I will say I have made like salt, whipped milk and salt instead of sugar, or with like sweet black tea is actually really good. Like a salt cream foam on top. I found it at like a boba place and made it on my own a few times, and it's actually surprisingly good. I don't think we're going to end up in the surprisingly good realm this time. Oh, there's another one. Okay. We're here. I think I forgot to count a death there. Alright. Step on this platform, it's going to fall. Then we have 3 falling platforms in a row. You're gonna have to get over to the left on that third one, but not run too far and run into that chomper. Here. Yes, you can see my mouse. We need to get onto this platform, go most of the way to the left, push all the way left as we jump so we don't run into this chomper. Get over here, jump one more time, and hopefully there's safe ground on the other side of that. I swear I hit jump as that platform was falling. I think I was just a couple frames too late. You know, the best gamers always blame their controller. Yeah, maybe I can outrun that, but is it really worth doing? Also, another fun fact if you don't play these games is getting that really short spin jump where you don't accidentally bump your head is really hard. You have to press the button for like, I don't know the exact frame window, but it's a very short period of time. And honestly, I feel like kinda the plain old Logitech controller I have right now, like the buttons are maybe not quite sensitive enough for that. I was getting very inconsistent. Anyway. Alright, there we go. See, that's how we do it. That's how we do it. Easy. Alright, let's see. So I believe we're going to be forced into a slide on this sharp angle. We're just gonna go for it. Oh, and there's the checkpoint right there. Alright. Very doable. Very doable. Like I've been saying, this game is easy compared to most other Kaizo hacks, and I appreciate that so much. Again, I swear I hit jump there. This must have been after the platform was off. Oh, okay, we can't outrun that. That's not so bad, actually. Okay, what the fuck is going on with my jump button there? What the fuck is going on with that? Sometimes you get grumpy and you just have to run into an enemy and die. I know what I'm doing. Right. I thought I knew what I was doing. Maybe I don't know what I'm doing. See, that's why I'm trying to wait and jump, because I don't want to bonk my head and die. pretty short window there to actually get that jump clean. There we go. We're back here. Again, choose level on the jump button. Fine. Every death is a learning experience, right? That's the only way we're gonna survive this, is if we treat every death as a learning experience. Just like a Dark Souls boss. Just like a roguelike. There has to be a Kaizo Mario roguelike out there. People have built like roguelike Pokemon. Oh, yeah. Alright, alright. This run's gotta count for something, because then we're spinning the wheel. Oh, I got the mushroom. Alright, that's death number 60. What do you got for us, Captain Toad? What do you have for us on this fine day? Oh, we were so close to hitting T and actually being somewhere maybe okay. I don't know why I put ketchup on the wheel. I needed to put like one more bad thing on the wheel. I don't know why I thought I needed more bad things on the wheel. We have in 3 spins already gotten into, do not make this at home. It has not taken much. I'm going to be sad about everything I'm adding to this class after the catch-up now. But, what Toad wants. We gotta give the man what it wants. I'm doing my best to catch up, Seraph, but first we have to add some, well, I guess we could go like the old, like, Roman way and make it, like, be a fish sauce. I think fish sauce is worse, though. I mean, you can make all these recipes at home, just most of them are bad ideas. The first one involves destroying a valuable piece of electronics. We all remember this. Good news is this is a, you know what, I'm not even gonna say anything about a repeat of that mishap, because you can't talk about that stuff and then expect it to not happen, right? We're just going to accept that maybe if we were making a sauce we would be somewhere okay. A milk-based ketchup sauce, even that sounds bad. Man, this feels obscene to even put up on camera. Actually, it kind of just looks like a strawberry milkshake right now. Yeah, this is a strawberry milkshake. There's little bits in there. Look, I've been avoiding it, but part of this stream is that it only works if I'm actually tasting. Oh, fuck, I had a respin! God damn it. I had a respin and I didn't even think about it because that's a new mechanic. All right, maybe we're just saving up respins this stream for next week to make next week good, given that this week is just fucked. All right. Of course, the salt rim. You never think about how strong of a flavor salt is until you're tasting only salt, you know? Worse. Kind of starting to get into like the Bloody Mary realm right now, which I don't like Bloody Marys. But Bloody Marys are better than most of the things I've made on stream, so, you know. I'm horrified at how much that didn't make me gag. I was a kid who loved ketchup so much that I would, like, make bets in the cafeteria in elementary school that I would eat something with ketchup on it. I just like the flavor of ketchup. So maybe I just still have some of that, you know, 8-year-old palate left in me. Alright. I think the Kaizo is going better than the cocktails tonight. Man, there's a lingering aftertaste there that is just bad vibe. So hard to make the salty side of the taste world work in a liquid experience. And we kind of got 2 out of 3 salty hits so far. Miles would like you to know that he is a dog. And he is not on stream because he is busy being dog. And he knows that I'm on stream, so he wants to be the worst version of himself so he gets more attention. Alright. That was so close. We can hit this checkpoint. We can get to this checkpoint. There we fucking go. Thanks, coins. Really helpful. Really helpful. It's not the red coins. Do I need to follow? It'd make more sense if we follow the regular coins. Maybe try... no, spin jump doesn't go high enough. But yeah, the red coins seem correctly. Oh, that's what it is. When you're sliding down a slope in Mario World, you actually move faster than you can normally run. So if you start to hit the right stick while you're sliding, you actually go back to that top speed instead of the slide speed. So sometimes to go faster, you actually have to not touch the control stick while you're on the ground. This one's easy. I am gonna fuck this up. I know I'm gonna fuck this up. I know I'm gonna fuck this up. Oh, this is the hard part. Oh, I can go up this pipe? I'm sure that's very funny to someone who... It's gotta be a picture of some Mario streamer, but I do not know who that is. Oh good, it just put me right back here. Oh. Have to sneak up behind that poison mushroom. Oh, jumped too early. Brain C coin, brain say jump. That is what these games teach you. Ketchup is not going back on the wheel next week. I feel like once I spin something on the wheel and get to experience it, I'm allowed to take it off. Had to do that with milk before. There we go. Oh. Okay. Make this one count. I said I was gonna make that one count. I did not. It only counted to 80. Spin time! Alright, I have a respin. I don't know what I could spin at this point that would make me use a respin. Did we hit? Okay, we hit a non-drink thing. We are going to improve our stream layout, so I need to add something to the stream layout. Make it better. So, I need to find some sort of image or something to add onto here to give us hope. I will happily take suggestions from chat if you have anything you would like to have added to the stream layout. I want here. I'm tempted, Seraph, but also I don't know if I don't know if I have that in me. I enjoy the mystique of not knowing what the bottom half of Toad is. Blue ketchup from Heinz is an option. I think I already have a friend I'm going to add, though. Second to grab her. Yes. There she is. Our friends from Deltarune. And hang out right here at the edge of the camera with me. Man, chapters 3 and 4 were so good. It's so cool to see a game actually manage to follow through on its promise that it will, in fact, be as good as you hope. Add her over here as well. Alright, she might get in the way of your view of the game a little bit, chat, but you wanted an improvement. And I feel like this is a solid improvement. Have her there. If she's just peeking out of the corner. You know, I'm just not gonna talk about Silksong until it comes out. What I'm going to do. That's a lie. That's an absolute lie. I don't know if I've ever lied harder in my life. Oh, we're right near the end. Oh, hey, I can spin jump that if I have the full slide speed. There wasn't any music in it, it was just called Silk. You know, that'd be a shame because the music in Hollow Knight is very good. They have the same composer still. But if that's the sacrifice we have to make for the rest of the game to come out, I think I'm willing to make that. He did. Oh, god damn. Alright, doing fine. We're make it. I waited a second there, we would have had it. Okay, I have to... Panicking, and panicking is how you die. Twice in lots of different realms of life. Especially here. Deep sea diving. I said that like I was going to list a bunch of other things, but man, that feels a little grim for tonight, doesn't it? Can't we just stay happy and just watch Luigi suffer? But then, I guess, I'm really taking the suffering that he goes through in this game and passing it on to myself through the terrible drinks. Really makes you think. Oh boy, 45 minutes in and I'm getting pseudo-philosophical. That's not a good sign. How I'm doing. Deltarune 3 and 4 was good enough that after, never mind. Let's go. Do this. 2 levels down. Bank another respin. I know these levels will get harder, so I don't feel bad about banking these early respins. I'm gonna need them. Actually, you know what? Instead of writing down our respins, Susan are going to be our respins. How about that? There we go. Now we have 2 of them. That does feel like a thing that Susie would do. Hey, that's fucking bullshit. Spin that again. Alright, Take 5 is such a good song. I'm happy we get to listen to that for a while. Ooh, okay, I'm not safe to even just bounce there. Alright, one more death. Go back to the wheel. Say its name. I just leave it there. Alright, there we go. Means no Take 5, but it also means you don't hear boyoing, boyoing, boyoing. Alright. Back We'll just have... Or no, I should also do... I don't know why I thought Control D would... Alright. The wheel. What are we adding to this nightmare? Can we hit it? Can we hit the half save state? No, we're adding lime because this obviously needs more acid in it. Acid and salt, you know? With those two things combined, citrus acid and salt, we can achieve everything. Let me go bang around in the fridge to grab some lime. Nice little half shot. Not measure the other thing. They didn't, like, they asked for me. I feel like regular cocktail. So over here, really we should be measuring. Every addition, it gets a little bit thinner. Just, I want this to stay thick, honestly. If it's thick and it's like a sauce, I can imagine like spreading on a fish or something. It's still not good, but... Oh yeah, and there's also the salt rim. Alright, well, we have to know. We have to know what we're living with. Alright, now we're in full Bloody Mary territory. Honestly, the ketchup kind of just works as a tomato juice substitute. Callie asks if I can taste any of the condensed milk. I think it's honestly providing more of a textural thing than, and maybe mediating between the other flavors. It's not horrifyingly clotting, so, you know, we've got that going for us. Alright, let's get back at it. Our drink is not helping us. Alright, where were we? What were we doing? Alright, as far as we've made it. Alright, we're gonna have to do a big jump off of this note block to that next one. Really try to push right as hard as possible to not bonk our head. Alright, we're good. Alright, I think I don't want to jump at all, I just want to use the bounce skip one. Yeah, like that. Now we have to get to this one below us. And even if we do, then we immediately have to bounce to the right again to not bonk our head on the death block. Why didn't I hop as high that time? Oh, and look at me forgetting to count deaths. I love funky time signatures. Like, 5-4 is like the most common of the funky time signatures, but it's still so satisfying. Next time you bonk your head on a cabinet or a shelf or anything, Just be glad that it doesn't insta-kill one-shot you like it does to Luigi. Getting very worried at how quickly this next spin is approaching. Oh, that's making significant progress now. Alright, let's go. Let's go. That's how we do it. That's a new place to die, at least. Gotta celebrate every time you find a new die. Not much else for me to celebrate tonight in this game, in this stream. Sat down and played a solo RPG for the first time in a long time last night. Beak, Feather, and Bone. I think I picked up on RPG Day like a year or two ago, but we never tried. I just sat down and map labeling of my own. Oh hey, look at that. We are past our death threshold. In the wheel. Now I'll keep talking about Beak, Feather, and Bone, but short version, a pleasant game. Really liked it. Stayed up until 12:30. My town. Back to heal. What do you have for us, Toad? Gonna be. Alright, we're continuing the Bloody Mary route with some paprika. Be nice and easy. Honestly, I don't think that's going to make this much worse. Back momentarily. Don't need a lot. Not when dealing with, like, you know, maybe 1.5 ounces of liquid altogether. I bother even stirring it in? I mean, why am I bothering doing it? It just looks like a crime scene in there. Am I allowed to just do this by a spoonful and not take a sip? I feel like I'm allowed to do that. That's all the condensed milk in there. Really kind of split it up. Oh, I missed the salt rim. Salt rim that's been ruining it? It might be the salt rim that is actually the worst part of this. I did not take a whole spoonful. I used the spoon to take a small amount. I'm not saying anyone should ever make this, but this isn't making me regret every single thing, every single decision I've made in my life. Only like 20 of them. Alright, back to Mario. Well, Luigi. Mario's dead. Okay, okay. Let's go. Let's fucking go. That's how we do it. I believe this is as far as I made it during my playtest of this game to make sure it would be good for stream. Alright, so I believe what I need to do here with this little smiley face of note blocks is get down to the middle one, jump up to the left and to the right to hit the currently hidden note blocks up there, then use the one all the way over here on the left to bounce back up to where I started, and then use both of these to bounce across. If I remember right, I think that's what I will need to do. I promise that wasn't on purpose, but it was very, very funny, so it might as well have been. Okay, alright, I see how it is. Alright. Oh, I missed that, CJ. The Bloody Mary route sounds like a secret Deltarune Evo run. I mean, there's already this No Grave, which has now just been renamed to just the capital W Weird route. Nice, Seraph, that you finally get to be playing in a campaign again. I've been definitely on a route of just for fun RPGs of late. And anything that I am working on for like content is moving very slowly. So it felt really good to just sit down and just do some creativity just for myself, just for fun last night. Gonna try to get my local group of offline friends to do another campaign of Good Society. We played it before and it was really, really fun. Just play as, you know, bobbling aristocrats and doing, you know, a relatively cheesy, like, Shakespearean love quadrangle. That's where all the people in that group's hearts lie. Like, I'm like the only like non-avid romance reader in that group. It's funny because a lot of the time, oh wait, we did this. A lot of the time when we get together, it's just a book club, where they just talk about what they've been reading recently. I've almost never read any of the books, so I'm just there. Which is honestly a really pleasant thing to be able to do with a social group, to just be able to exist. Alright, do I try to go over or under here? Now that's gaming! That's fucking gaming! Gotta take a celebratory sip. Sorry for leaving this boon in there, but the consistency we're working with, it is a necessary evil. Ooh, Field of Dreams! That's my dad's favorite movie. Hey, speaking of Deltarune, I know that song. That's Field of Hopes and Dreams. It is wild to think that Undertale's like, what, 13 years old? Something like that? 9 years old? I'm probably completely wrong. Oh, well, can you spin jump off of that rock down there? Yeah. Oh yeah, you're right, 10 years, because I saw someone talking about doing something for a 10-year anniversary. I was lucky enough to be like one of the first people in like my friend group to find Undertale and spread it to others. Thanks to my already existent Homestuck fandom. And man, the discovery process with that game is still delightful, and I'm so it's so nice that Deltarune has gotten to be experienced over a lot of years. It's been a pain to wait for things, but also, like, letting it sit and simmer, like, for me personally, is, like, helping hit some of, like, those nostalgic beats of going back and visiting the hometown now when I go back and, like, replay the first couple chapters so I know what I'm doing for 3 and 4. It makes it hit. It makes it really work to have this game just be something growing up with me. I say, as an adult who's done growing up in the childhood set. That is wild, Carrick, that Chapter 1 came out only 3 years after Undertale. Then again, playing through it compared to the rest, it is like, yeah, this does feel small compared to everything else in that game. Hey, who wants to spin a wheel? Susie, you want to spin a wheel? Got to add my last turn. Alright. The wheel back up. Thank you very much, Toad. I realized I could be breaking out my Toad voice for this. But I'm only going to do that for you, chat, if you're very, very good. Alright, I guess I need to go brew some tea. I'm gonna make some nice herbal tea. I will tell you exactly what the tea is after I get it going. I believe there's already hot water, actually, thanks to my wife. So, I'll be right back. Brew some tea. We'll wait a few minutes before then adding it to the rest of the drink. Because you know what this drink needs is to be served warm. Oh. I'm very sorry for what we're doing tonight. Just know that I'm doing this because I genuinely enjoy it and think it's very funny. Tonight we will be enjoying some Evening in Missoula, a tea that I have way too much of around my house, so I drink it whenever I have a chance. It is a lovely herbal tea, from a place local to its namesake, which includes chamomile, rose hips, lemongrass, papaya leaf, peppermint, blackberry leaf, raspberry leaf, spearmint, lemon peel, alfalfa, wild cherry bark, wintergreen, star anise, vanilla, lavender, red clover, and stevia leaf. It is a lovely tea. I really am a big fan of it. Salted, sweetened lime ketchup with your tea. I think that's the British way of doing it. Let that water boil for just a minute. Then get that tea brewing. And then by the time we spin the wheel again, we'll get the tea added in. Alright. Let's get us back our Kaizo. And now let me pour my tea and be right back again. Back to the Kaizo land. Oh yeah, what I was going to say is this level's called Field of Dreams. That's my dad's favorite movie. And the family story about that is that he once started making peas on the stove and then went down to the basement where the TV is to go and see what was on TV for a minute and saw Field of Dreams was on. and completely forgot about the stove until a pan had completely melted onto the stove with burnt blackened peas. My dad has had plenty of kitchen mishaps. It is definitely a running joke in the family. Alright, let's shell up here. I need to hit that question block up there. There was the time where he baked a cake for my mom for her birthday, and it was supposed to be a cake that rose with baking soda and vinegar, but he accidentally used baking powder instead. And so some of the vinegar didn't react with the baking powder. And so we ended up with a okay chocolate cake that just had pockets of vinegar in it. And my mom's very first bite of her cake on her birthday was just a pocket of vinegar. I'm not forgetting to count deaths, you're forgetting to count deaths. Incredibly, since then, he's actually become a pretty competent cook. He just had some mishaps. Okay, I need to hit that question block with a spin jump. Yeah, that'll do it. Aw, that's sick. Sick place to catch a shell. And then forget to jump. Alright, now we go. New here. Guess we figure it out is what we do. Oh yeah, I was gonna talk more about Beak, Feather, and Bone. So this is what it's like to be friends with me in real life, is that I will forget what I'm talking about and then come back to it 20 minutes later. Who's among us, huh? It was a really nice little system to just use, some card draws to get some basic prompts for what buildings belong to what factions in the city. But of course, being me and knowing the games that I love, I had to use a Spindle Wheel Oracle deck too to get inspirations for each building. I was actually pretty happy with what I did, which was, the game starts with having you make all the factions in the city, so I made 4 factions. So I drew just a cross of 2 Spindle Wheel cards to represent that faction, figured out what they were from that, then shuffled those 8 cards together as my deck for whenever we made a new building. And then every time we finished a turn cycle, I added another new card from the Spindle Wheel deck to that mini deck, just so there would continue to be new inspirations in there. I really like having a deck like that that keeps bringing back ideas. I mean, that goes all the way back to the time where I tried to play an entire RPG campaign out of just playing multiple games of the Quiet Year and hacking it together with Spindle Wheel. I still stand by as like some of the best RP that I've ever done. Okay, I don't know why I keep dying to this jump. It is not a hard jump. Right, and we have passed a threshold. also means our tea's had enough time to brew. Just have a sip of this regular tea just to clear my palate and remind myself that good things are possible in the realm of mixology. Really lovely. It's a relatively subtle tea because it hasn't had a ton of time to brew. But honestly, I'm bad at describing flavors, but let me try to give you like a sommelier take on that. There's like definitely a sense of licorice. Like, I don't know if you've had much licorice tea, but feeling of it kind of like coating your tongue a little bit in a lovely way that nothing else tastes like licorice tea in my mind. What else am I getting there? Definitely some essence of lavender and a little bit of a hint of like, not like more of the sweetness you get from like orange peel than like orange itself. There's definitely like a hint of like the citrus sweetness in there. I don't know. I'm not the person you want to tell you how tea describes. What was that sentence? All right. I need to spin the wheel and then figure out how I'm getting some of this tea from this mug into the jar in a way that doesn't involve spill. But first, we're spinning the wheel. What do we got, Susie? No, Susie! I'm doing good enough that... No, I'm spending a respin on this. Susie, get that shit out of here. I am spending a respin on this. I am not changing my controller right now. Main controller I can swap to right now is my keyboard, and I am not swapping to keyboard. We are spinning again. I would much rather make this drink much worse than ruin the progress I'm making in this game. And sometimes we get lucky and we just hit a bonus respin on the wheel. See? Pays for itself. In fact, we also forgot to get one for beating that third level. So, we should have 2 more on the screen. Let's get some kind of... We need to arrange it a little bit better. Lessen the... See, there's... Occasionally the wheel can be good. You have to put the possibility for it to be good to make the bad parts of the wheel hit harder, you know? Alright. We are at 3 banked wheel. Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna stop tracking that here. We're just gonna count it with Susie's. And... back to the screen. I guess I do still need to add the white tea. Sneaking down off the screen. Oh, why did my rules end up all messed up? Get out of here. There we go. Alright, let's get some tea added. Actually, I need to take us back to cocktails for the moment. And then we will keep Kaizoing. We were responsible adults who didn't try to destroy the electronics by doing that over the sink. Let's see, this should really mellow it out because it's a relatively mellow tea. Well, I think we're starting to the point where I can maybe take the spoon out. I think we can manage this without the spoon. Alright, we've ended up with just kind of, again, could be mistaken for like a very liquidy strawberry milkshake. Okay, I didn't even taste that yet. The scent, the scent of hot ketchup is not a scent. One of those like primal evils. It's like leaning over a volcano. You really shouldn't be smelling that scent. Don't know. Don't. This is kind of causing a crisis of faith in me, because I don't like plain tomato. I don't like tomato juice. I like ketchup because it's mostly sugar. This kind of tastes like hot tomato juice, and I'm not hating it, and I don't know what to do with this, because I've committed so many horrendous crimes here that I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. Like when I was house sitting for a neighbor and I opened her fridge and saw just a bottle of Clamato and discovered that that wasn't just like a made-up drink I heard of on The Simpsons, but something that people actually have in their fridge as a mixer. Half clam juice, half tomato juice. I need to take another sip. I need to process this. Yeah, I don't know, it's not a drink I've ever had before, I can tell you that much. I don't know. Let me know in chat if you know anyone who enjoys drinking hot tomato juice. Hot, sweetened tomato juice. Start thinking about a name for this. Alright. While I try to comprehend what is happening here. Knock down my shot glass. If we can't get back to the Kaizo. Anyway, what was I talking about? Beak, Feather, and Bone. Yeah, using the spindle wheel deck for extra prompts there was really satisfying. Can I cheese this? Can I try to snag this spell from over here? Oh. I think it was definitely a game that would have been better if I had not played it as a solo game, but played it with a couple other people. That's probably how it was designed originally. But that's going to be a problem with so many games that say they can be played with one or more players. Okay, so I can't just jump into that while holding a shell and live? Really nice art in that game's book. I need to go and play more solo RPG. I also need to actually go and record a bonus episode for Alone at the Table. I told Audrey I would do that, and then just never got around to it. Why do I keep panicking there? It's not that scary of a jump, people. You can do this. Alright. Let's focus for a second. I'm getting mad that I keep failing the same thing. And also, I'm probably going to need to use that shell again. That's what I'm dreading. Did I accidentally hit fast forward? Is that what I saw you say? Oh, it looks like maybe I can hold tab to fast forward in the emulator. Yes, we can. Okay. Alright. Okay, we made it further. I bet that's another pipe we can go in down there, but I'm sure it will just be to another meme room. I don't want to count that death. That was while I was hitting the death counter that I died. Cocktail is making me feel like I need to sneeze. It's probably all the paprika I put in it. Okay, yeah, that is death. I wait too long on that. Oh, and the checkpoint's right there. Alright, we can make it to this checkpoint. Alright. Go. Not panic. Let's not over jump. Let's not under jump. Let's see. So, I hop up onto this rotating platform. Then I run off before it squishes me once the right platform has fallen below the height of the left platform has fallen below the height of the right. And then I jump up higher further there to get to the right point, I think. Yeah, that was going to be it if I was just a little bit faster. Alright, one more try until another spin. One more try until another spin. Alright, we're back. Oh, exact same spot. And we spin the wheel! What, our 9th spin of the night? There you go. Spinning. You really want me to use a different controller, don't you? Susie's my friend. She's here to protect me. She says, oh no you don't. We are respinning that. Oh, you really wanted to land on that again. Oh no, oh no. Alright, I put this one on as another joke. Because I don't have, like, proper red wine. I have some red cooking wine. So, hey, you know what? You know what? It could be so much worse. People love their wine cocktails, you know, that's like all like the cool stuff you find at the grocery store. It's this wine cocktail. Go get some red wine. We'll be very cautious in how much we add. I don't want to be wasting food to actually use. I'm not going to miss. Ketchup. No. Alright, let's see. My body is saying no, don't do this. I'm still sitting down and saying no, you're not making this worse. I've already managed to mostly avoid the... Nope, we're doing it. So this wine says that it, quote, brings your trusted hearty sauces, braises, stews, and marinades out of the comfort zone. We are definitely leaving the comfort zone. So, mulled wine? Is that where we're landing? No, a wine that you heat up with different spices and such? Alright, Toad, you've done your job. Tastes disturbingly like fruit juice. I guess tomatoes are fruit. Tomato juice is still the basis of the flavor that we're building from. Also, can you hear that sad? No, you can't. Miles is doing his classic move of get back from going outside to do his business and run and find a squeaky bone, and then cry about it. And it's happy wine, as far as we can tell. So happy. Has 3 of them in there, his sleeve. Unlike every other toy he has, which he rips the guts out of. He will sometimes leave them all in arrangements, like he's trying to conduct little doggy rituals. Like, Crisis of Faith is continuing here, is the thing. But, hey, let's stop Crises in our faith, and let's instead get back to the Kaizo. 20 more deaths to 200, and I'm pretty happy with how far we'll have made it in 200 deaths. Especially if we can hit this checkpoint. That would mean 3.5 levels. Oh, and I forgot to grab the shell, so that's just it. I'm sure I've talked about Miles' squeaky bone ritual on stream before, but really is the funniest thing about him as a dog is that they're just these cheap, like, $5 bacon-scented toys that, like, we've had for so long that there's no way they can smell like bacon at all anymore. And he's gonna go and cuddle with you in the morning, he has to bring them along. He's gonna go to bed early at night, he's gotta bring them along up to the bed. I can't tell you how many times me or Callie has gotten up out of bed in the morning and had to step and just start to squeak! And then just start laughing because the dog just left there. He has such a good sense of humor. Let's go! Honestly, I prefer that as a dog prank to, oh, I'm gonna bite you, dog prank. Also a cat prank, I know. Alright. Tight window to make that jump. Do it. Okay, I guess hesitation is defeat there. And I should replay Sekiro. It's been long enough now. Okay, maybe that doesn't work. Well, not that. We got this, we got this. Alright, what do I do there? Do I just have to immediately jump again and just pray that there's something on the other side? Leap of faith it? That's what we do. Okay, yeah, I think that's leap of faithable. Also, wait, how do we even hit that block? Okay, 2-block wide jump. Love those, love those. Okay, I can't hang in the air there. I need to let myself drop. Alright. Oof. That's a mean window there. Instantly jump again. Forgetting that I can't just wait. Oh wait, that's 201. Alright, it's okay. We still have 2 Susies. Still got 2 Susies. In that wheel. Well, it's not exactly the time to use this, but I'm taking it anyway. Alright, this is chat's mercy. So, chat, I come to you on my knees begging, please help me fix this drink, help me improve my evening. What can we do to make this better? I put myself in your hands. Most streamers would make this be a bad thing, but I know our Moonshot chat is nice. First suggestion is alcohol. I'm concerned. There is already some cooking wine in here, which you do get carded when you buy, so it does have alcohol in it. I'm just thinking about Susie and some other bad teens sneaking into the store and buying cooking alcohol. Cooking wine. Have a party. Let's see. Guess let me take us back over. Where we have all of our current ingredients. So far, the only suggestion is alcohol. I was really counting on you, chat, here to help make this drink into something really, really good. I don't know why you're struggling here. I do have orange juice, Seraph. To be clear, this doesn't have to be anything on the wheel. It's anything that I can find around my house. We have reached the milk problem. The condensed milk now has gotten thinned out enough that it has definitely become a horrifying suspension. Alright, we have 2 votes for orange juice. I think we can throw some orange in here. I think that is a reasonable ad. Be right back. It has gotten oranger. I'll tell you that. Well, it looks really orange on camera. This is starting to feel like a morning drink. You know, something you drink in the morning. That tastes so much like orange. Slightly salty orange juice. The orange juice that you drink after you've been crying all morning into your glass and it's just gotten a little bit salty from all the tears. That's what we're going. Your morning OJ spelled with a O-U. Alright, back at it. Oh, too slow. Temptation is defeat. Boss, he jumped there. Alright, I do think I have to land there again to make this jump to that next platform. I think I have to land on the spinny thing one more time with the death blocks. Very funny that my death there hits that block. I'm going to have fun writing to a comprehensible recipe that still should never be made by anybody. I think we do a salt and paprika rim. I have to figure out what the fuck I tell you to tell the reader to do with the condensed milk. Does kind of have all of the important parts of a nutritious breakfast. Got your OJ, got the ketchup that you had with your little sausage patty, got your morning milk. It's got just a little bit of cooking wine just to get you through the day. If mimosas are allowed to be a morning drink, then so can they. We got the paprika in there to wake you up. Oh yeah, no, there are plenty of Kaizo race levels. And especially like in Super Mario Maker, I know that's a big genre of level, is race levels. I don't know how much in the ROM hack space, but I know there's a lot of overlap between ROM hack creators and Mario World, or Mario Maker creators. Right, we hit another spin. What you won't find in Kaizo ROM hacks are auto level, which is levels where you don't press a single button or you just hold one button the entire time, and Mario gets through like a whole Rube Goldberg machine of horrible things. Those were popular on Mario Maker. Alright. At our last thing. Alright. Alright, Susie. I'll have two of you. You will carry over between streams, so I don't really want to use all of them up. A celery garnish would have been quite nice with this, actually. But there's not enough sugar in this, apparently. Sure, we could add some simple syrup, that's easy enough. Not like that's going to ruin after everything else. Mario and Luigi, that's not bad, honestly. Have to go back and, yeah, tomato, lime, tons of sugar. See, now the sugar is fighting off the salt and making it taste more like orange juice that got poured into a glass that had a little bit of milk residue in it, which is a bad move. Don't do that. Maybe I just went a little bit too aggressive with the amount of orange juice that I added. Killed off a lot of the other important flavors. Oh, I had my face covered for this. Honestly, having my face censored by a giant toad feels right for the vibes of the stream, you know? Like, let's just go over to the Kaizo side and just think that we'll just smack it right over there. I don't want people to see this is how I live. There's a free layout improvement for y'all. Didn't even have to spin it. Alright, let's see if we can't finish this level. I think we got it. And at this point, when I finish this level, that'll probably be the end of the stream. I feel like we've hit a pretty complete cocktail. We'll have been going for a couple hours. And it's probably good to play this game at, you know, in chunks of a couple hours or so. Much longer than that, and then I'll just start getting frustrated and playing more. I feel like I am starting to hit more of the same depth, but maybe that's just, I have to feel it a little bit more. That jump's a little tricky, just like how much time do I want? Maybe I try to make this like another layered drink. Like we have like the syrup and the condensed milk and like something else to make one layer and then another layer sits on top of that. Is anything? I just like layered drinks like aesthetically. don't know if I've ever even, like, had a proper one. I don't know, I am deeply disturbed by what has happened in this mason jar tonight. Feels like some sort of alchemy where we took like 2 or 3 evils and they all just kind of each other out. Alright. Starting to just get very... Eating the same deaths. Focus in. Alright, back to the wheel. I am getting sloppy. Oh, we dodged a massive bullet there. One off of coffee. That would have probably ended the night right there. I would have done it, but it would have ended the night shortly after. But yeah, this is missing some sparkle, you know? Honestly, we do have components of a cheap mimosa here. From like orange juice, lime juice, red wine, and now Sprite. I feel like that's a mimosa. I feel like that's a mimosa of someone who lives a very concerning life. Campaign is just cooking wine and Sprite mixed together. Oh, that image in my head is very good. Oh. Oh, dang it, you can't even see the wheel. I promise I'm not cheating here. It was one off of coffee. Can't be trusted with any moving parts at once, I guess. I legitimately almost just took a sip of this before getting back on camera. What am I doing with my life? I need to get out of here. I need to beat this level and be done for the night. Yes, hello, Sprite. I feel your little sparkly bubbles. And I'll just say orange juice and Sprite. I feel like everything else has just gotten drowned out. All the horrors have just been beaten out. I'm a little bit worried that just like some of those are floating to the top and there's something real nasty happening on the bottom. So we're gonna mix it up and taste. Find out. Yeah, no, that's just orange juice, right? You can't even taste the cooking wine. Just like a mimosa. So funny how similar the experience of expecting something to be horrible and slowly coming to terms with the fact that it's actually like decent is so similar to the inverse. much more common, you know, expecting something's going to be good and slowly realizing, like, oh, I don't like this at all, actually. I just realized I'm playing Mario where you can't see! That's how you can tell that I'm starting to hit my limit. I have to start forgetting to do all the stream thing. Frat life of Mario and Luigi? Can you explain that, Gareth? What do you mean by frat spelled with a PH? Close. Chris Pratt? Like Chris Pratt? That's a real reach. I'm a bad pun enjoyer, and I appreciate your contributions to chat, Seraph, but I gotta say, that is a real Oh. I need to there. Thank you for staying up with me, Ace. These streams exist in a weird space for me because, like, we don't get very many viewers, and that's fine by me. I don't expect very many. But whenever I tell people, like other Moonshot people, that I'm, like, this week, whenever I told them I was bringing it back, they all got so excited. Like, this is the thing where, more than wanting to come and see it, people are just happy that it exists. Oh, spin jump makes that so much easier. Oh, those fast-falling platforms, that's rude. I will say one thing I have on the wheel, aside from Chat's Mercy, is, I think Moonshot's Damnation is what I called it. Where I will ask someone in Moonshot to make everything worse. I can count on them to do it. Do what Chat isn't willing to. So, on the off chance that I spin that in this upcoming spin, get that number, I do have Riley on speed dial. I can trust them to make things 20% worse for me. Let's spin that wheel. Hitting. Hey, CJ, you were calling for alcohol? Let's get some tequila in the mix. I'm going to take it very easy on the alcohol, don't worry, especially in a drink like this that I'm not going to finish, so there will be a half shot at most of it. But maybe it'll bring it to life a little. No, honestly, a little bit dull. Does anyone know what goes in a tequila sunrise? Because I feel like that's the space we're working in now. Alright, let's see what we're working with. Censor my face for the full experience for chat. I know, there's so much liquid in here that, like, it's a small amount of tequila per amount of liquid. I mean, at this density, you'd have to drink a lot of this to get drunk, and I feel like there would be some major gastrointestinal consequences later on. But yeah, I don't think alcohol hurts. I think having a little tequila is nice and makes it into a proper cocktail, too. Alright, let's see if we can't close this out. I'm gonna keep saying that, and it's gonna keep taking me more and more wheel spins to actually get out of here. I will hit a point where I say, okay, I just have to stop. But we're not there yet. My... Yet. The tequila song, right? I'm fucking up my jokes now. Didn't jump there. Didn't jump there. I just genuinely had the thought, man, why does spin jump and regular jump have to be two different buttons? We are entering real dumbass hours now. We've passed the philosophical PB hours, now we're hitting dumbass PB hours. Oh, very close to me. That's just a hard jump. Alright, CJ says we're missing grenadine from a sunrise. That's what the ketchup's there for. On that jump. Fine. Getting there. Fine. I said we're doing fine. Oh yeah, spin jumping there's basically tomato down something. You know, I started playing Fortnite for the Moonshot Patreon show of playing games that you haven't before, and honestly had a pretty good time. I was starting to play like a couple games every morning, and then they did their like AI voice fader bullshit, and I just immediately uninstalled it. And I feel like I'm better off for it. I just needed like a little nudge to be like, hey, actually this is not how I want to be spending my time. Oh. Alright, I just need to like full height jump off of those. It was fun squatting up with Susan though, and just like having a Fortnite master like show us what to do and lock down a couple wins for us. I know they were mostly against bots, still satisfying to win. Alright. Spinning again. I got cocky 60 deaths ago. And this is what happens when you get cocky. Tails come. Yeah. Oh, I keep just barely missing that half a save state. Alright, we're going to add a strawberry seltzer. This bubbly strawberry... No, not actually what one's in the fridge. just continuing to water this down into nothing. We started with something horrendous and then have just been watering it down until it's... So, like, I think that's how chemistry works. I'm pretty sure that's how chemistry works. In our final recipe, I'll probably condense this and Sprite together. You know, try to find the ingredients where it makes sense. It's actually strawberry cream seltzer. So, bringing back a little bit of milkiness. Alright, let me uncensor myself while I take a sip. Strawberry cream is definitely asking for this bowl of the condensed milk in there to come back out. Make a statement. There's some orange creamsicleness. Honestly, I think the worst thing that happened to this drink was the salt rim. I think without the salt rim, without anything like sour to fight off the salt rim, like you would get in a margarita, I mean, if we just get rid of like the first 3 ingredients here, the only actually bad thing we have on this in this drink is paprika, which is just kind of getting drowned out by everything else. Really, we had 3 terrible rolls and everything since has been fine. I can live with it. Question is, can Luigi live with my jumping ability? Answer is no. Problem is the salt rim just keeps drying out my lips and making me want to lick my lips, which I'm self-conscious of doing when I'm on camera, although I just realized I have toad censoring my face, so I can get away with it. Like, once I always forget that people can see me on camera when I'm streaming, and then, like, I'll touch my face or lick my lips and then just be like, ugh, people saw that. Honestly, I think if my first, like, stream idea for Moonshot had been anything other than, like, this, I would probably be mostly a camera off person on the network, but this just necessitates you all to see what's happening. And hey, it's good for me to get comfortable with letting my face represent myself. Completely unrelated, happy Pride Month, folks. I'm sorry we aren't playing cool queer visual novels for Pride Month. I guess I'm just going to try to argue that there's nothing gayer than watching Luigi die 300 times. Just like the fight for our rights as it costs an uphill battle with plenty of setbacks, we can't give up, just like Luigi can't give up on his quest to find who killed Mario. I mean, I guess Mario is a franchise that has a kind of technically confirmed trans character. Birdo? I feel like I saw someone break it down before, and like Birdo's gender is complicated. And you know, probably moderately offensive. What do I do there? What do I do at the end there? That was the end. But how? I need to land on a platform to get another jump. What do I do? Alright, so I need to bounce and land probably right here on this platform. Then when it does its fast fall, jump off at just the right moment. That is my guess. Maybe I fanfic this game slit. Instead, it is, Luigi's quest to get uncancelled on Tumblr after making a joke that the L in LGBTQ stood for Luigi. Another spin indeed, Sheriff. Hoping no one would notice. I think this is just a small spin on my face. That's fine, you can live with it. Oh good, yeah, let's mix our spirits. Let's get some gin in the mix. Again. We're being very, Sorry, I was going to say we're being moderate in alcohol, especially given how much of this is drinking. But also I'm noticing this is starting to separate, and that is concerning. There's like, let me get this. I feel like I'm starting to see from top to the bottom. Kind of a layer on top. I don't know what that layer is. Alongside other things, I feel like it's getting worse the longer that it sits. Maybe it was better as a hot drink. Alright, at this point, I feel like we're just, like, at the point of, like, putting a hat on a hat, you know? Adding more to this isn't really making it funnier. Like, I'm not tasting the gin at this point. At this point, it is just the drink going through its natural evolution over the course of time. But I will continue to honor the wheel. Otherwise, what's the point? The point of all this? I'm going to censor my face. I might as well do it right. There we go. First jump is such a pain. As is remembering what to do on that next jump. So it's actually not hard in comparison. feel the frustration. I need to chill. Oh, jump is so precise there. Alright, we're hitting a point where I feel like I should probably increase the spin threshold to like 25 or 30. Just given the rate of my deaths now compared to progress. I feel like we've hit a point of level difficulty where 25 maybe makes more sense for next. And getting, I just have to like jump frame 1 there when I land. Getting that long and low jump there involves hitting jump, letting go so that you don't get full jump height, and then immediately grabbing it again so you fall slow enough. Yeah, it was a very bad start near Cosm. It was not a good place to start. Things have gotten better since then. We've ended up as something that kind of just tastes like a mimosa. So basically just orange juice with other stuff lying around in it. I think the condensed milk has mostly settled to the bottom. Okay, yeah, I need to like do a low jump there. But we are on our 4th level of the night, so like, for 1, the first couple levels of the hack are going to be easier, but 2, we made good progress tonight. I don't know, I'm so close to seeing that victory. Alright, 1 more spin, 1 more round of 20 deaths, and then I'll probably call it for the night. But we can do 1 more spin. There. Someday I will get a 2nd monitor and I will instantly get like twice as good as streaming. We have a winner, chocolate syrup. Okay, I think the settling is entirely the curdled milk, which has, again, occurred. I feel like every time we fail to dodge the bullet of curdled milk. Alright, chocolate syrup. Like, that's not gonna make it worse. Yeah, I think you're probably on the money with Sweet Life of Mario and Luigi. I don't think I can beat that. Because now, this just feels like an episode of like a sitcom where like the 2 annoying little kids decide that they're going to put everything they like into the same dish. They'll like put every single topping on their ice cream or every single topping on their pizza and just end up with something horrible. I feel like that's the vibe we've reached here, of just... I mean, that's not going to mix in, is the thing. I don't think. I think it's just going to be at the bottom. It's going to be a splotch of chocolate at the bottom. Alright. Oh, I didn't taste it. I have to taste it. Also, can I ask Greymod to moderate the chat? There's a bot. There's an essence of chocolate there, and you know, chocolate orange is a good combination. I was obscuring my face for that one, but honestly, that's fine. We've passed the realm of big reactions here. We're gonna get bigger reactions from the Mario at this point. Oh no, I almost ran out of time. Good news is it's not gonna take me 90 seconds to die. Oh, the sped up music does not stop. That's great. Love that. I'm curious what making those bots that spam chats achieves. It doesn't seem like honestly, anyone is going to click on those messages. They're so obviously spam. You know, using their, like, you know, weird characters and stuff. And I feel like anyone who's tech savvy enough to make a Twitch channel is going to know that, like, that is spam. Yeah, I guess maybe hoping for accidental clicks. But even then, what are you achieving if someone does one accidental click on that? Like, unless we're talking about a world where, like, a single accidental click lands you a massive virus on your computer. I feel like that era of the internet is relatively dead. I don't know, maybe I'm naive here. Oh, I mistimed my second jump there. Damn it. It's just one of the many things on the internet. There are so many other things too. It's just like, okay, but how does this actually make you money? Because that's the only reason that you would do this is if you reasonably believe this would make you money. I don't think that they're in the love of it, in it for the love of the game like I am. Yeah, I guess people pay for bot viewership to try to boost their numbers up. Okay, is it just me, or does it sound like the music is trying to slow back down when it hits this, not chorus, but this verse? Like, right as it's leading into it, like, tries to slow back down to normal speed and fails? Just me? Alright. Therapist with me. I know, so much of the internet today just feels like, I think you should leave sketch of the guy with the guitar where it makes it look like he's smoking a cigar and wearing a silly hat. Just saying, I gotta figure out a way to make money off of this. There's gotta be a way to make money off of this. chocolates. All right. I don't know what to do with that last jump. I don't know, man. I don't know what to do with that last jump. I think we're gonna have to come back next week to solve that jump. Because I'm starting to run out of steam. My glass has gotten comically full of a terrible concoction. I need to figure out how to write this into some sort of entertaining recipe to post tomorrow. I just wrote recipe instead of chocolate stars. Yeah, it's time for me to be done for the night. Alright, so let's say good night to all of our Susies. Say good night to the concerningly fast Field of Hopes and Dreams. Let's say good night to the Luigi who couldn't make the jump. And to all of you viewers for joining me in this terrible adventure. Let's have one final toast for the return of Kaizo and cocktails. Cheers!